Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. And what I'm going to do today is another video that I think that might be helpful to the beginners and the intermediate players from a professional musician standpoint, because I got an interesting comment from one of my subscribers. I did a video called Identifying Musical Styles and Formats, and I was walking you guys through certain styles of music have a formula, and if you can kind of chime in on that formula, you can play in that style. And I use my Telecaster, which is my workhorse. And I guess over the years after playing, because again, I play like 7 to 12 hours a day at times, depending on the sessions that I'm required to come in and do. So I have, I guess, fretware on my telly. And I've had people ask me this, how do you get that fretware? Because I've been playing my guitar for years and I don't get that. And I told them, well, I play for extended periods of time, for long periods of time, so that might be the reason why I've acquired that. And I never noticed it or made it a big deal, because I guess the relic look is very popular, where people want their guitars to look like they've been sitting up under a bridge for 2 years, or sitting up under somebody's porch in the wintertime for 2 years. And I'm just the opposite. I like my guitar pretty in pristine condition. And another reason I think is that happens as far as that wear on majority of the maple necks as opposed to the rosewood. Because the rosewood is dark and you wouldn't see that wear that much anyway. But that just comes from years of playing. But the purpose of this video is this, because that was just kind of setting it up for the topic at hand. And the topic at hand is the right guitar for the right job, because you'll be surprised a lot of times you cannot play, or your stamina as far as playing is not as good as you want it to be, simply because your guitar is not set up properly and it's not comfortable to you. Because when you're young, you just think that you're forced to play a shitty ass guitar, action all high, don't feel good to play, so you don't play it for long periods of time and you don't enjoy playing. Because first and foremost, you want to be able to enjoy what you're doing, as opposed to I'm struggling through this. My hands are sore, I'm in pain. When is this 5-minute record gonna be over so I can be done with this? So you have to find the right guitar for you, because my Telecaster, when it first came, I paid only $99 for a brand new off eBay, and that thing feels like a dream. I love a smaller neck because I don't have big hands. So and the action is low, it sounds good, it feels good to play. So that's my workhorse. When I go into the studio, I normally use that guitar, because it's normal, but most of us don't realize this. It's normal to have in your collection 1 or 2 guitars where you can barely get through a 5-minute song with those, and it's like, okay, I have no choice, because they sound so good and the tone matches what I'm trying to do. Because the very first or second Jay Tercia guitar I had was a Telecaster, and that thing sounded great. It had a thick tone like a jazz guitar. Matter of fact, when I got it, I got rid of my jazz guitar. But I was not really comfortable with the neck because it was a little bigger than what I normally play. But it sounded so good, I had no other guitars in my collection that could give me that tone. So I stuck it out, because I did a cover, and it's still posted up. One of my biggest covers, Al Green, Let's Stay Together. I used that guitar. The tonality matched up good with the guitar play on the record. Any of the other my guitars would not been able to match up because they were brighter. So it's kind of a trade-off. Sometimes you got to kind of fight your way through a song, and you're not comfortable with the guitar, but it's giving you the tone that you want. But that's not going to be the norm. That's just the exception. The majority of the time you want a guitar that feels good to you. That's why I'm real big on a stickler on my action. How's the action before I purchase it? Is it low, but not low enough where it's buzzing? Is it comfortable? And most of the guitars I have gotten fit that bill, with the exception of a handful. But for the most part, the stress in this video, what I'm trying to stress in this video is, in order to play for long periods of time, you gotta have a guitar that you feel comfortable with. I could play my Telly for literally all day long. I could play the majority of my Jay Tercias all day long. So you want guitars that you can be comfortable with, because to me that's the most important thing. I really don't extremely care what it looks like, even though I want a nice looking guitar. It does have to sound good, but you can doctor that if it doesn't sound good naturally through effects and things of that nature when you go into the studio. But you can't get around having something that feels good to play. You know, you just your hands just love it. You know, and it's just the action is just where you want it. Cause when I first started to learn guitar, one of my most influential guitar teachers, his perception or concept was this: thicker gauge strings, because I play the lightest, 8. And now I found out that there's one gauge lighter than that, and I bought it from a company out of Mexico. I think it was like gauge 7, but I haven't put them on guitar yet. But the gauge string he wanted me to play was 10. I'm like, I can't do 10, man. 10 is too thick for me. You know, and I'm not doing the kind of music that wants 10, because I think usually 10s are like for jazz, you know, to get that thicker, rich, thick tone. I'm like, I don't want 10, so don't let anybody force on to you something that you know that you're not gonna like or gonna be comfortable with, you know, because you know, he wanted me to put 10s on my guitar. Well, matter of fact, he put 10s on my guitar and raised the action. Well, you know, you want to be able to press down to build that finger strength. I got the guitar home and took them strings off and lowered that action back, because I'm like, that's not what I want, and that's not what I'm going to be comfortable with, you know. So, because I'm not a child, you know, a little child you teach. I'm a grown man, and I know what I want, and I know what's not going to work for me, you know. But everybody have a difference of opinion. But don't ever back down to your beliefs and what you believe and feel and know that's going to work for you, as opposed to someone telling you that ain't going to work for you. This is going to work for you. Now, in some cases, yeah, it might work for you as far as a suggestion from a seasoned professional, you know, but it's all about being comfortable with your instrument. Because if you're not going to be comfortable with your instrument or not comfortable with your instrument, you're not going to play well, because you play well when you feel well. You know, when you don't feel well and your fingers are hurt and you're stretching and, you know, and your strings are way up there and you got thick gauge strings and you know that ain't what you want to play, you're not going to be happy. It's going to show in your playing. So until next time, I hope this has been helpful. Take care. Thanks for watching.